Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Tom Worth Jr. And another day of encouragement here, and that is due to the realization that things are just not breaking for Trump lately, and things seem to be kind of caving in on him, maybe crumbling out from under him a bit. He's staying out of interviews. He's staying out of debates. He actively ducked out of the 60 Minutes last night, which we saw, and it was pretty awesome seeing 60 Minutes dude just sitting there telling it like it was behind the scenes, how Trump's team kept making excuses, one of which was that they would be fact-checking things. The 60 Minutes dude goes, we are journalists. We fact check everything we've ever done. And they've done presidential candidate interviews every election, they said, since 1968. So close to 60 years, both candidates. And he just backed out and was a no-show. So that was awesome. It tells you how scared he is. It tells you he's not able to do this. He's not able to actually sit down for an interview and handle questions, having to think on his feet, having to answer in things that are anything other than nonsense. The other realization is this Hurricane Helene this thing is just impacting the race, I think. Last week it was annoying to me because he kept talking about, and Fox News kept talking about, how FEMA wasn't giving any aid to anyone. They said no one had received any aid yet, and Fox News had people on saying this. Meanwhile, FEMA was saying we've already dispersed more than $10 million in aid. Keep in mind, this was a week ago, and Fox News was still lying about it. Now, in the last day or two, Fox News has stopped lying about it. Not out of the goodness of their heart, but because Republican governors, these are red states, places like North Carolina in particular, and Georgia, he is harming their citizens, their people. Fox News is causing harm to the population of those who have been impacted by their misinformation, by saying that there is no aid. They're not giving any aid. Trump has actually come out and said they've run out of money giving it to illegal immigrants. And so if you are a Fox person, and ask yourself this, I know some of you are watching this because I get your comments. If you only watch Fox News and listen to Donald Trump, you wouldn't even bother trying to get aid. They're handing out money. Now, roads are washed away. Infrastructure's gone. It's hard to reach people. That is a fact. And they're not giving out the aid as quickly as they would love to be able to do because of that reality. But the money's there. They're giving it out, and they're trying to get more from Congress to distribute through FEMA. And for Donald Trump to sit there saying the money has run out, there isn't any. If all of his people do is watch Fox News and listen to him, they're not going to bother. They're not going to go walk somewhere or something and go out of their way to try to get something that they have been told by their fearless leader doesn't exist. So they're not even going to try. And his lies are now harming you, his own people, as they always have. This is just in a more direct way, to the point where Laura Ingraham actually fact-checked him. I saw this on a Don Lemon YouTube show this morning, which I haven't seen before, and that dude had something. I thought, he has his facts straight, and he has some skill and some real world experience about dealing with all of these people. I enjoyed the little bit that I watched of that on Don Lemon this morning. But his lies are actually harming his own people, and this is something all of us have known forever. That if you just give actual news sources a chance, then you'll be better off in your life. So this is harming him. The other thing that gives me encouragement is I saw an ad watching the Cowboy-Steeler game Sunday night, and it was pretty funny. I actually called my wife down to watch it. It was a Trump ad, and it had Kamala Harris just chuckling, saying Bidenomics, back from when it was, back when Biden was running for president, I guess. I don't know. But it was just a bunch of BS interspersed with her saying Bidenomics. And it was funny. I thought it was funny. And it ends with her laughing, which Trump people hate anyone that laughs. They don't like joy. They like Trump. They like doom and gloom and lying and we're all gonna die and the Democrats and the Haitians, and that's what they like. They hate laughter. They hate joy. So her laughing at the end saying Bidenomics, I thought was kind of genius. Now, the other thing I loved about that ad is how utterly ineffective it is. Because someone like me, who is voting for Harris, just like I voted for Biden, it's laughable. It made me laugh. And it's no basis in anything. And any rational person would know that everything's taken out of context and just trying. He's playing that ad to his base. He's running that ad to his base. The people who are already voting for him, it's getting no one for him. It's not making any kind of convincing case. It exactly reminded me of the Ted Cruz ads I've been seeing. Whereas Colin Allred, running for Senate here in Texas, his ads are about things he's done and about things he's trying to work on and help Texans, and completely reasonable and logical. And Ted Cruz's ads are about anti-trans people, and how men are going to be going to the bathroom with your little girls. And Colin Allred is fighting for, and it's got the Republican, Colin Allred is trying to get men in restrooms with your little girls. And it, again, no sane, reasonable person is going to be swayed by that. But people who are already voting for Ted Cruz are eating it up. So that's why I love them wasting their millions of dollars on ads to their own base. It's not trying to pull anyone else over to vote for them by showing actual things that you might go, maybe my candidate's lying to me about a hurricane relief aid. Maybe I shouldn't listen to my candidate all the time. That's what's happening on the Trump side. But it's, I don't know, I kind of love it, and I'm kind of feeling better and better about it. Also, the targeted ads, whereas you have the Trump ads, just red meat to the base, you have Kamala Harris campaign. You have the Sam Elliott ad, which I referenced a week or two ago, telling people in his wise old voice, it's okay to vote for a woman. Because sadly, there are people that need to hear that for it to be okay to them. She realizes that there are people who aren't going to vote for her just because she's a woman. And she's trying to get the manliest man she can find to say, no, it's okay to vote for a woman. It gives us comfort. As he said, the dude abides. And Sam Elliott said that gives us all great comfort. His voice is just a comforting voice. And the other thing was Kamala Harris going on this podcast with the Call Her Daddy podcast. And to me, that was brilliant, because that's the widely watched women and listened to women listener podcast, but not just women, white women. And although we have the overwhelming gender gap for Kamala Harris to have women vote for her, white women, it's not overwhelming. There's a lot of, especially white evangelical women, they're for Trump, but just white non-evangelical women, they're not overwhelmingly for Harris as other groups of women are. And so for her to go out on this podcast and try to reach people who would never hear from her directly, all they will ever hear is what Trump says about her. in what Fox News says about her. They will never hear from her directly. So her going on this podcast, I know for a fact of people who have listened to this and watched this and they were pissed off about it. That the girl would interview Kamala Harris, like she somehow betrayed them, and I love that because they were forced to hear from Kamala Harris herself, and they may despise her based on everything they hear Donald Trump lying to them about. But when they hear her, and I'm not saying they love her now, I'm not saying they're going to vote for her, but they have now heard for themselves, whether it was for 10 seconds or 10 minutes, that she's actually a smart person who believes in women's issues and will fight for women's issues. Donald Trump never will. He never has. He never will. Kamala Harris will. So if you gave her a few minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, however long you gave it, she's not a scumbag. She's not sleazy or slimy, like every word coming out of her mouth you have to question. Oh, is she really believing this? Or can I believe her? She's very genuine. She's very authentic. She's very real. And these women who listen to that podcast, they probably enjoy people who laugh. They enjoy people who can smile. They enjoy people who are joyful. That's what life should be. And that's what always comes through with Kamala Harris. You can't get away from it, and she can't run away from it. And when you're watching a Trump thing, that's not the America anyone would want. They may think that they want what he's telling them it would be, or what it would be for Kamala Harris, but the reality of what those two people are could not be any more different than it is. And when people are forced to hear Sam Elliott's voice speaking on behalf of Kamala Harris, telling men it's okay, and people are forced to hear from Kamala herself if they watch this podcast that they love, that can only help them. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is nowhere to be found. He is not sitting down with anyone. He's not fielding any questions. He's not standing up for any length of time or sitting down for any length of time with any even moderately respectable journalist or media source. He's out. He's gone. And there's 4 weeks left. 4 weeks from today is when all this goes down. And all of their efforts are going into legal fights and barring people from voting. That's not where he should be putting his efforts in. And I'm kind of loving it. So I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to the next 28 days. And hopefully you all are too. And we'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.